Alright guys, thank you for tuning back in with Red, White, and Bethune. Today's video we're going to do something a little different. It's kind of a project we've been looking at for a little while. So these I think were designed, you know, well they were designed for adults because there's no type of railing or anything to prevent the kids from falling over. So it's something we kind of been thinking about for a while, so we're going to address it finally. No kids have fallen out, luckily, so kind of gonna do. We saw a design the other day in one of the videos we watched. I don't know who it was, but they did kind of like little capsules maybe. So basically I'm gonna cover this in plywood and trim out 3 little holes, which will allow for a little bit of a rail for each bunk. Plus it'll kind of enclose it a little more, and I think it'll give them a little more sense of the privacy in their own little space. So we'll see how this goes. I don't know, I haven't done any construction in a while, so we'll see how it goes. So I got all the boards cut to fit the opening that I need. Like I said, I had 2 4x8 sheets of plywood. It's a sanded wood, so it's pretty nice stuff. 3/4 inch thick. It should marry up pretty good to the existing laminate board that's in there. There may be a slight difference, but it shouldn't be much. I'll show you what I did. I mean, as you saw in the video, I basically just used my skill saw. Either way I was going to do it, I was going to have to use 2 sheets of wood. There was no way around it. So I decided to go with it long ways like this. I may regret this decision, but that's the way it ended up going. So this is going to be up and down basically. So now the difficult part is I got to figure out my holes. I got to figure out exactly where I got to make those and then execute. If I can do all that right and make it look good, I might just be able to finish this bad boy up today. But not too bad so far. I don't, you know what I'm gonna do. Measure everything out. Just trace it up. I'm gonna use my skill saw for the straight cuts along here, and then I'm gonna use a jigsaw to cut my corners. So should give me the best chance to do a good opening as possible, and then I'll have to go in, of course, with a sander when I'm finished and clean it up and make it look finished. Alright, so I got all my math done, I got everything measured, marked, and hopefully my math was right. I'm not the smartest guy in town, I'm definitely not the best carpenter in town, but I'll show you what I did real quick. As you saw in the video, number 1, clamps. If you don't have clamps and you're doing woodwork, you're really doing yourself a disservice. Anyway, I went in, marked it out. You can see on my lines, I marked everything out. This is my openings. As you saw in the time lapse, I did a little funnel for my curves here. The best thing I could come up with at the time. But I want to go ahead and get everything marked out. I'm going to recheck, remeasure everything, make sure I'm not messing up. I think I should be good to go here. Now all I really have left to do is cut it, which is easier said than done, but that's going to take a little bit of work, a little bit of time, but well, other than that, it should be good to go. But I think everything's right. Like I said, I'm going to measure, check everything one more time, my numbers one more time, and we'll get it cut up. Alright, so we got our rough cuts done. As you saw, I used the jigsaw the entire time. I don't know if I'm going to come to regret that decision or not, but for time reasons and aggravation, I just went ahead and used it. I started with it, not too bad. Definitely got some sanding to do. What I was gonna do is start with my jigsaw, get it going, and then go in with my skill saw for a perfectly straight line. But I think it'll work out. I mean, like I said, that's why they make sanders. The eraser of a craftsman. So looking pretty good. Got quite a bit of sanding to do. Once we get it all sanded, I'll be able to take it inside and put it up and see if it's gonna fit, which I really hope it does. But it's coming together. Not too much longer. Well, there she is, folks. I think that's gonna wrap it up for me in here. Turned out pretty good. Definitely could have improved on the cutting a little bit. It's definitely not perfect as far as that goes, but I sanded both sides. Started with a real gritty grate the first time, went over everything, sanded the corners, made them soft, flat so they don't cut anybody, and then went in with a finer grate and kind of did a total finishing coat with it. But I think it turned out pretty good. I mean, I'm pretty pleased with it. Now we got to get it in the bus and see if it'll fit see if it'll fit the hole that I measured it for. But overall, I'm pretty pleased with it so far.
For as long as I can remember, and hated you for every second of it.
So what are we having?
The kids are having chicken nuggets, mashed potatoes, and green beans, and we are having grilled chicken salad made by this little beauty over here. Actually, the chicken ended up pretty moist. That's the moistest it's been, I feel like. Bon appetit.
Alright, so it is the next day. Everything is up. Everything is mounted. I think that's pretty good. Filled a few holes, letting that dry, and then we're gonna put some stain on it, and then it should be all set. Bought a little piece of trim to go around the bottom to match with the meat with the floor. But all in all, I think it turned out pretty good. You know, it served its purpose as a rail. Kind of gave it a little more of a private feel for the kids, but pretty pleased with how it turned out so far. How's your day going today?
It was not a good homeschool day. There was screaming. There was expletives yelled. We are not the perfect family, just an FYI. We are a hot mess. And today was no fun. Common Core is terrible, and I hate it.
How do you think? What are we having for lunch?
I'm having my leftover salad. This is the good part of my day currently. And I sent the children outside, because mommy needs quiet.
So what you doing?
So I am staining all of this, and I would like to say there's a quote that I live by: we don't make mistakes, we only have happy accidents. And today was a happy accident. I was supposed to go pick up the stain today, but Kyle insisted he wanted to go because then he would have had to homeschool the kids. So I stayed behind, and he brought back this stain because we want to match our floors. That stain did not match our floors. So we so graciously convinced my mother-in-law to keep our wonderful offspring, and we had to run to Lowe's and get another stain.
Did you run or drive?
We drove, thank you. It's a lot faster to drive. So we got this stain, which is very, very similar to the floors, but when we put it on, it was really red, and so we need to gray it up a little bit. And my friends, this is why Kyle and I are married, because he is the yin to my yang, because his stain and my stain married together perfectly to give us the exact floor color, for the most part.
It's got to dry still.
Your jury's still out with you?
Yeah. I think it'll be good though.
Yeah, like the floor, I mean, hello. Once we got a matte sealer that we put on it, and I think once we put that on, it's gonna really make it shine, pop, whatever. I'm happy with it, so, you know. So this is our finished product. I'm really, really excited about it. We had to do the 2 different stains, but I feel like it really matched our floors super well. And it was a happy accident because we both picked out a different stain and they melded so well together. So we got the polyurethane on. It's a matte finish, so the curtains are hung back up. And I didn't go with white. Everybody's like, oh my gosh, you're gonna do white. No, I wanted something like our boxwood wall, how it's like such a focal point. I wanted this to be another focal point, and I think it's pretty cool. Let us know what you guys think down in the comments, but I'm happy with it. And can we just take a second to look at my new shoes that came in today? I have caught the Chaco fever. Yeah, and I painted my toenails. Thank you very much. I caught the Chaco fever. Kyle refers to them as birth control, so.
Well, this video we kind of brought you something a little different. We haven't done it in a while. It's a little remodel. It turned out pretty good. You know, I don't think Jen had the most confidence in the world when I kind of told her my idea of the design, but
it's not that I didn't have confidence. The way that he was like laying it out and cutting it. Here's the thing with Kyle. Bless his heart. I love him very dearly, more than anything. He measures once and has to cut twice. Well, and he makes 37 trips to Lowe's during one. It is not.
Okay. Anybody that's ever done a build of this magnitude, please let her know how many trips you have to make.
No,
it's just
because you make a list before you go, and you find out what you need, and then you measure, and then measure again.
That wasn't the case on this.
No, it was not.
This is expensive wood. I used a pretty high quality timber, and yeah,
he did good on that.
I was gonna make sure I didn't have to go buy that stuff again. It wasn't cheap.
The rest of the project, however, that's a different story. But I will say this looks really, really good. And like I said earlier, he wanted to go get the stain because he didn't want to homeschool the children's. And
I'm pleased with the way it turned out.
Yeah.
You know, it basically came out the way I thought. I didn't know what we were going to paint it, and the stain looks good. It kind of breaks up the white wall. That whole wall basically was white. It was a lot of white. Not that I didn't love it. It was a good look, but I think with something like this, we just kind of wanted it to pop a little bit. So I'm pleasantly surprised. I was worried about the stain. Like when he brought that one home, and then we went and got the other one. My mother-in-law graciously kept our offspring. We brought the other stain home, and I put that on the wood. I was like, ugh, this is gonna be red. And then it turned out pretty decent. But there'll be some more videos like this coming up. Go let us know if you guys enjoyed it, if you got anything out of it. We got some more small-ish projects, so those will all be probably on one video. Because basically we have nothing else to film right now. Yeah, well, we have a lot of time on our hands. We're waiting on the house to sell. If you guys aren't aware, Florida, the county that we're in, just extended their stay-at-home order until May 15th. So, you know, we're kind of stuck at this point. We're waiting on the house to sell and everything. So we've got some projects that we're gonna take care of, and a few things here and there to work on the bus. But there will be witty banter back and forth, and you know. But we're kind of trying to stay on a schedule now. If you have noticed, Wednesdays and Sundays are upload days. Yep. So 2 videos a week is our goal right now. You know, it's tough because there's just, like I say, not a lot to shoot, but we're gonna make it work some way, somehow. We got some small projects to do. Actually, there's still a little bit on the bus that's not 100% complete, so we definitely got to get that finished up. But as always, thank you for watching our videos, and if you like it, subscribe to the channel, hit on the notifications, check out our videos on Wednesdays and Sundays, and we will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.